Angie Dickinson finally discusses Robert Redford at 93. Angie Dickinson was born Angeline Brown in Com, North Dakota, on September 30th, 1931. She rose from a small Midwestern town to become one of Hollywood's most glamorous and versatile leading ladies. Her childhood was quiet. She was born to German-born Frederica and Leo Henry Brown. Angie's work ethic and determination, forged during the Great Depression, would define her long and successful career. After moving with her family to Burbank, California, she attended Immaculate Heart College and Glendale College, where her beauty, charm, and intelligence stood out. She wanted to write or work behind the scenes, but fate led her to entertainment. Casting directors noticed her in a 1950s beauty pageant, which led to her acting career. Her stunning looks, smoky voice, and magnetic screen presence led to small film and TV roles. In her youth, Angie worked hard in westerns and anthology TV shows. Working with Hollywood's biggest stars in the mid-1950s gave her experience and confidence. Her breakthrough role was in Howard Hawks' 1959 western Rio Bravo, opposite John Wayne, Dean Martin, and Ricky Nelson. Angie's portrayal of Feathers, a tough but tender saloon girl, made her famous and showed she could compete with the era's biggest male stars. Angie Dickinson was a Hollywood prized actress in the 1960s. She was a natural actress who could play westerns, crime dramas, thrillers, and glamorous romances. With elegance and emotional vulnerability, her performances were praised for depth. Her most notable roles included Ocean's 11, 1960, with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack, and several high-profile thrillers and dramas that showed her sophistication and strength. Angie appeared on magazine covers and red carpets, cementing her status as a fashion icon as well as an actress. Dickinson's career peaked in the 1960s and 1970s. She worked with many of the biggest stars in movies and TV. Ocean's 11, 1960, with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack introduced her to a new audience and established her as a glamorous and influential Hollywood actress. Her roles in The Killers, 1964, Point Blank, 1967, and Big Bad Mama, 1974 showed her adventurous and daring side, pushing boundaries for women in film at the time. She could easily switch between westerns, crime dramas, and comedies while maintaining her unique screen presence. When she played Sergeant Suzanne Pepper Anderson in Policewoman from 1974 to 1978, her career took off. This role was groundbreaking because it introduced a woman to law enforcement dramas. Angie's glamorous, tough Pepper, combining beauty, intelligence, and courage, resonated with audiences. Her critically acclaimed show paved the way for more female-led TV shows in the years that followed. Dickinson won Golden Globes and nominations for her performance and inspired many women with her strength and independence. Angie worked steadily in television and film after Policewoman, proving her longevity in an industry that favored younger stars. She played a lonely housewife in Brian De Palma's 1980 film Dressed to Kill, demonstrating her dramatic skills and ability to humanize complex characters. She worked in film and TV throughout the 1980s and 1990s, often choosing roles that challenged her and showed her growth as an actress and person. Like her career, Angie Dickinson's personal life was full of triumphs and challenges that shaped her into a remarkable woman. Her 1952 marriage to Gene Dickinson was her first. Gene, a talented college football player, was admired for his athleticism and discipline, which reflected the 1950s All-American ideal. Gene entered the electronics industry, which was growing rapidly in post-war America after retiring from sports. The couple separated in 1956, but married until 1960. Although their relationship was rocky, Angie's relationship with Gene helped her find her footing in Hollywood. She kept his surname Dickinson after their divorce, which became her career name and made her famous worldwide. This decision ensured her professional continuity and distinguished her in Hollywood, where a well-known name can extend a career. She became close friends with influential figures like economist John Kenneth Galbraith and his wife Catherine during her marriage to Gene Dickinson. Angie gained insight into a world beyond Hollywood through the Galbraiths' intellectual and diplomatic circle. Their friendship exposed her to stimulating conversations about politics, global economics, and culture, which broadened her horizons and allowed her to meet brilliant and influential people. Angie visited John Kenneth Galbraith's Abra after Kennedy appointed him U.S. ambassador to India. The visits and tours she took with them in India were so memorable that Galbraith wrote about them in Ambassador's Journal and A Life in Our Times. His references to Angie in his writings demonstrate their close friendship and her unique role in the lives of powerful and cultured figures outside the entertainment industry. Angie Dickinson married Burt Bacharach in 1965, starting a new chapter in her life. Bacharach was a music legend for his sophisticated melodies and pop music innovations. They were one of the most glamorous couples of the time, combining Hollywood stardom with musical genius. Their 16-year marriage was impressive by Hollywood standards, but it was complicated. In later years of their relationship, they separated and explored other relationships while maintaining a bond that brought them back together. This showed the challenges of two ambitious and creative people juggling personal life and spotlight careers. Angie's birth of their only daughter, Nikki, on July 12, 1966, defined their marriage. Nikki struggled from an early age because she was diagnosed with autism when it was less understood and supported. Angie and Burt changed their lives and careers to care for Nikki. Despite their efforts, Nikki's struggles were lifelong. Tragically, she committed suicide at 40 on January 4, 2007. Her loss devastated her parents and Angie, who had always advocated for her daughter and worked hard to give her the best life possible under difficult circumstances. Burt Bacharach composed, performed, and influenced music for decades after his divorce from Angie. He died at 94 in 2023, ending a life that touched millions through music. Angie Dickinson's marriages to Gene Dickinson and Burt Bacharach and motherhood to Nikki define her life. Chapters of love, friendship, heartbreak, resilience, and her grace in public and private struggles. After nearly a century, Angie Dickinson, 93, has seen Hollywood's brightest and darkest moments. After Robert Redford's death, she finally spoke out after decades of silence. At 89, Robert Redford, the legendary actor, director, and founder of the Sundance Film Festival, died peacefully in his sleep at home in Sundance, Utah, on September 16, 2025. The news reverberated throughout the entertainment industry, bringing back memories of his extraordinary career and his lasting impact on audiences. The loss was personal for Angie Dickinson, though few realized. As business colleagues and friends who respected each other, she and Redford had met many times. Dickinson hesitated to comment on Redford's death. Her voice was steady but marked by memory. She said Robert was a rare Hollywood man. Everyone saw that he was handsome, but he also had integrity, which is rare in this town. He remained true to himself and never let the studios or press change him. Dickinson, who had fought for meaningful roles in an industry that stereotyped women, saw Redford's independence and refusal to conform as a standout. She remembered their 1960s encounters as they rose to fame. Dickinson remembered seeing him as a young, shy actor. Not the Robert Redford the world would know, but he still had that spark. You could feel it when he entered. You knew his future was big. For Dickinson, who was already famous for her TV and film work, Redford's humility was nice. Despite knowing the attention his good looks and charm brought him, she said he never was arrogant. Dickinson acknowledged the unique challenges of being a woman in Hollywood with Redford as she spoke. She admitted it was frustrating sometimes. Women didn't have Robert's opportunities. Might be tough. He could be romantic or political and was taken seriously in every role. Women faced different expectations and had to fight harder for respect. Robert respected the women he worked with. We were never decorations to him. He listened. That was significant. She praised Redford's activism and non-acting work, especially the Sundance Institute and environmental causes. Robert did more than filmmaking. Dickinson said he wanted to change the world slightly. After the big studios rejected them, Sundance gave many young filmmakers a chance. Talent was his legacy as much as any film he starred in. She paused before whispering, "That generosity. I'll always admire that vision." Dickinson smiled half-heartedly when asked if she and Redford had ever been more than friends. She laughed. "People always ask that. Women loved Robert, and I did too. Nothing romantic happened between us. Never that. We respected and enjoyed each other's company. Maybe that's why our relationship lasted. There was no baggage between us." Still, Dickinson acknowledged Redford's lifelong charm. His boyishness and strength were irresistible, she thought. Even as his face aged, his eyes twinkled. He could make you feel like the only person in the room, a rare talent. Dickinson grew quiet and spoke softly but honestly about his death. "It breaks my heart to know he's gone, but I find comfort in knowing he died peacefully in his Sundance home he built himself. That was his sanctuary, and I think he wanted it that way." She added, "I'll miss him but carry his life lessons. That you can be successful and decent, famous and private, and chase your dreams without forgetting your roots." Angie Dickinson saw beyond Robert Redford's Hollywood fame. He was her friend, role model, and symbol of authenticity she valued. At 93, she concluded with one last thought after recalling a lifetime of milestones. Robert was genuine. The world feels empty without him because they don't make them like him.